How's it going, everyone? Gonna let the good times roll. A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, it could have been Elizabeth Olsen, Jennifer Lawrence, or Shailene Woodley as the role of Rey, one of the leading roles in The Force Awakens. So basically, it could have been X-Men, Hunger Games, Divergent. Would have been really interesting. J.J. Abrams decided to take a page out of Lucas, go with someone unknown like Lucas did with Mark Hamill. Good move. Did with Hayden Christensen. Awful move. Next up, July 2015 edition Vanity Fair. J.J. Abrams shows he has a little bit of a sense of humor. Thought of placing the bones of Jar Jar Binks somewhere in the film, which I think would make fans happy. Certainly would make me happy. I can't do it, sorry. Summer of 2013, it was revealed both Carrie Fisher and Mark Hamill, basically, they went on a crash diet, started working out, getting in shape for their roles of Leia and Luke, respectively. Pretty interesting. It's interesting, this is the first Star Wars installment that's going to link the original series with the new canon going forward, the new characters being introduced. As you know, there wasn't that much of that with the middle three episodes that Lucas did, in my opinion, not too well. Gonna move right along. Scroll up. Adam Driver of Girls fame, okay? He was cast as one of the main villains, Kylo Ren. Now, it could have been X-Men, could have been Matrix. X-Men meets The Matrix. Fassbender, Hugo Weaving, two good actors, could have had that role. Let's see how Adam Driver does. Very interesting choice. He's starting to become a bit popular in Hollywood. Really curious to see how he does. Now, this is pretty interesting. Every single Star Wars live-action movie, in other words, the previous 6 movies, were all released in May. This will be the first one released in December. Merry Christmas. That's all I'll say. Next up, as of November 19th, 2015, this is just basically a month ago from the making of this video, $50 million in advance ticket sales were sold. They already made that amount of money. That doubled the previous amount that a little-known film called Hunger Games did in 2012, which formerly was in a top slot for advance ticket sales. So, Jennifer Lawrence could have been in the lead. Hunger Games could have been the lead, and this exceeded advance ticket sales of the former #1 slot, meaning Hunger Games. So much anticipation. Almost impossible to live up to the billing, but we'll see how it turns out. Now, here's something that I thought was very interesting, and you never really hear about these injuries on the set too often, but Harrison Ford broke his ankle on the door of the Millennium Falcon. About a year later, J.J. Abrams revealed that he broke his back, which sounds a little bit more serious, trying to help out poor old Harrison Ford from out from under the door. I think he admitted that on one of the late-night talk shows, I'm not sure which one. Now, those two actors, James McAvoy of X-Men fame and Chiwetel Ejiofor, is my best guess at that, pronouncing that. And two excellent actors were considered for the part of Poe Dameron. I don't think you could have went wrong with either of those two. They went with someone a little bit less known for Poe. We'll see how it works out. I found this pretty interesting. Gleason, Domhnall Gleeson, is the son of actor Brendan Gleeson, who's a close friend of Liam Neeson. All this rhymes. Who also appeared in Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. In case you don't know who Brendan Gleeson is, he was a character actor who is Irish, I believe, and he was in movies like Braveheart, he was in the movie Troy, and most recently he was in the movie that Ron Howard did, which was about that big whale called Moby Dick. Moving right along, the first time Harrison Ford received top billing in a Star Wars film. This is the first time he's getting it. A non-Jedi for the first time is also being credited first. This is amazing considering the original Star Wars movie, the one and only known actor aside from Alec Guinness and obviously James Earl Jones, was Harrison Ford, and he didn't get top billing, and he got a hell of a lot of screen time. Very interesting he gets top billing now. Max von Sydow played Ming the Merciless in the film Flash Gordon. And George Lucas admitted the old series back in the 1930s, I believe it was, Flash Gordon, was a huge influence for him penning Star Wars. Very, very interesting. If you ever get a chance to watch that 1980 film of Flash Gordon, it's one of those movies that is so bad, it's actually good. The uniform worn by General Hux is modeled after uniforms worn by the Nazis, mixed in with some, we'll just throw in some naval influences. Why not, just for the sake of it? But I always got that Nazi stormtrooper parallel, even going back to the original series. Seemed very prevalent, seemed to be something that's an undertone, that fascist dictator empire / Nazi kind of thing going on with the empire. Doesn't surprise me. Mark Hamill was the same age 63, while filming his role for this upcoming movie, which of course is The Force Awakens. Same age as Alex Guinness, who was 63 when he was filming his original scenes, 1977 film Star Wars. Incidentally, Alec Guinness hated the original Star Wars with a passion. But his grandchildren don't hate it because they're still to this day receiving back-end points from that movie. So they're pretty happy. Simon Pegg is only the second actor to appear in both Star Wars and Star Trek films. Another actor, Deep Roy, appeared prior to him. George Takei appeared in, obviously, Star Trek films as Sulu, but he also appeared in the animated series Clone Wars, the TV show. I think it was animated. Hope it was animated. I'd be very wrong if it wasn't. This is pretty interesting. I didn't adjust this figure for inflation, but $200 million is the budget for The Force Awakens, which is more than 3 times higher than the first 3 films combined. You could even add in the 4th film, and it still does not equal that $200 million budget. So huge budget. They already made $50 million. I'm pretty confident they're going to make a huge chunk of that money back. But incidentally, Disney paid $4 billion to Lucas to get the rights for Star Wars. So they got a lot of money to make up. Mark Hamill and John Boyega successfully lobbied J.J. Abrams, who incidentally is the director of the film. They lobbied him to allow Daniel Fleetwood to see the film before its release because he was diagnosed with terminal cancer. Fleetwood did not expect to live to see the film's actual release date. Disney said yes, and they brought the film to his home for a personal screening, which I think is absolutely awesome. Kudos to JJ, kudos to Disney. Max von Sydow will be the 6th Academy Award-nominated actor to star in at least one Star Wars movie. As you can see, the other 5, James Earl Jones, Alec Guinness, Harrison Ford, Liam Neeson, and of course, Samuel L. Jackson. Samuel L. Jackson. Star Wars The Force Awakens will be actress Billie Lourdes, who happens to be Carrie Fisher's daughter. It'll be her film debut. So, didn't say in the listing just yet what character she plays. Maybe Leia's daughter, who knows? Maybe a cousin, maybe a friend. Maybe a friend of a friend of a friend. I don't know who she's going to play, but I think it's kind of interesting. She's in the movie. Let's see how she does. Hey, Harrison, how's it going? He looks pretty cool there. Got to admit that. That is an awesome shot. I like that shot, and I like that shot too. Some great pictures. When he was interviewed about Return of the Jedi, now this goes back to 1983. I bet you some of you weren't even born then. Mark Hamill stated that George Lucas had considered bringing him back as Luke Skywalker as an Obi-Wan Kenobi-like character, passing the so-called lightsaber, aka Excalibur, to the next generation in Episode 7. And that Episode 7, they believe, would not be until 2011, so they were a few years off. Pre-sale movie ticket selling websites reportedly crashed. They just crashed after starting ticket sales. Huge anticipation, huge excitement, huge influx of customers wanting to see the movie. That says it all right there. Zac Efron, Michael Jordan, the actor, not the basketball player. Sullivan Stapleton of 300 fame. Jack O'Connell, who I don't know who he is. And Benedict Cumberbatch of The Wrath of Khan fame from Star Trek were all rumored to have auditioned for roles in the movie. Cumberbatch would have been an amazing villain. He was exactly that in the Star Trek series. For J.J. Abrams, incidentally, the same director, I'm surprised he wasn't cast in The Force Awakens because he has that epic voice. He would be an epic, epic villain. Let me know your thoughts. Moving right along, 4 actors from HBO's Game of Thrones, which is one of my favorite shows. I always get interested when I see Game of Thrones actors appear in other TV shows, movies such as Gwendolyn Christie, Brianna Tarth, Jessica Henwick, Marius Sand, Mark Stanley, Gren, he was one of the Watchers on the Wall, Night's Watch, and Miltos, name with a Y, not going to try to say it, the Dancing Master Cyril Farrell. Those 4 actors, Game of Thrones, Force Awakens, happen to be in both. After being released, the second teaser trailer reached more than 20 million views on YouTube in less than 24 hours. Funny thing, MMO Champion, someone did a thread saying that the Warcraft trailer was getting more views than the Force Awakens trailer, but he wasn't looking at the right Force Awakens trailer. Trust me on that. Gary Oldman, the actor who played Commissioner Gordon of Batman fame and Sirius Black of Harry Potter fame, auditioned for the role that actually went to Max von Sydow. Another guy who is a tremendous actor, would have made an incredible villain. Gary Oldman, very surprised he didn't get the role. But Max von Sydow played a villain years ago in a really bad movie, saved the movie. Like I said, go check out Flash Gordon 1980 version. Movie's so bad it's actually good. May the Force be with you. Have a good one, everyone.